We were doing erosion and deposition by wind, ice, and gravity. We saw the PowerPoint and also we have seen the video. So in that, the vocabulary words are dune, loess, glacier, glacial drift. We have creep, we have rockfall, landslide, and mud flow. I have shown the pictures. I have shown you the direction, how the wind goes, and how sand dunes are. These are desert pavement where the sand goes and leave all the rocks behind. See how it is. This is called the desert pavement. Then you have seen the sand dune and you have seen how the direction of wind goes and where the thick deposit of the wind blown goes and settle. That is called the loess. Next, I told you about glacier. Glacier is a large mass of moving ice that forms by the compacting snow by natural forces. And we spoke about flowing ice. As a glacier flowed over this rock, when something very hard is flowing, imagine if you are pushing some big block at your home on the marbles, you will find some scratches there later on. Like those, when the glacier is flowed over this rock, it scratches out these grooves. And can you see here? The rocks, because of the glaciers. This is when later on the glacier melts or the season changes. Glacial drift is the general term for all the materials carried and deposited by the glacier. What all had deposited because of glacier is called as glacial drift. Then we spoke about alpine glaciers. We saw arete, cirque, horn, and U-shaped valley. In this picture, clearly they have given everything. The sharp, the last one, these sharp are horns. Those are pyramid-shaped peaks that form when several aretes join at the top of the mountain. What are aretes? Aretes are jagged ridges because when the glaciers or when they were falling down, because of the pressure, these rock, they have some U shape or, they leave some space there. That is the circus. And that cuts into the same mountain. Like in one mountain, you see 3 or 4 mountains. That cut is called the aretes. And this bowl shaped, the whole thing here, the bowl shaped, which is depressed, which is formed by the glacial ice cut. Those are called circus. Circus, hanging valleys. Can you see your hanging valleys? I remember I went to Al Sauda. Al Sauda, we say that, right? Above Abha, it's there. Al Sauda, and you can see there a lot of these valleys. Those are flowing from the mountain. Hanging valleys are small glacial valleys that join the deeper main valley. Many hanging valleys form waterfalls. We call them waterfalls after the ice is gone. This happens after the ice is gone. So we have hanging valleys, we have cirques, we have aretes, and we have horns. You have U-shaped valleys, that is not a circus. Cirque is a bowl-shaped depression where the ice cuts. So till here, is it clear? Till now, I have revised all what we had done in our last class because these are tough vocabulary terms and I wanted you all to it. Now what is left? We have continental glaciers left for today and we'll see how the gravity is shaping the earth. Then rapid mass movement. So you have 3 things left. Before we do the textbook, I want to show you the PowerPoint here. You'll see in the PowerPoint the important points. Give me a moment, guys. Okay, before I start that last lesson, which was erosion by water, what were the features what formed after erosion of water, girls? Any idea? One example, delta. Can you give me more examples, girls? One example was delta. Meander, Oxbow Lake. These all were the features formed by water. The U shape, the cut shape. Okay, so we have finished with all this. Dunes, loess, glacier, glacial drift or circus. Now here we have what kind of ice shapes Earth. We studied about Earth's joint, they form sharp peak horn. Okay, this is done. Melting of the ice. During the last ice age, an ice dam held back. I think better you all have to read this. Noor, can you read this page?
The last ice age, an ice dam held back the water of glacial Lake Missoula. The dam broke and emptied the entire lake within 48 hours, forming huge waterfalls, deep canyons, and tall ripple marks in the land.
Okay,
Lake
example. A minute here, Noor. There was an ice age where ice dam held back the water. There was a dam. You know, the dam means there are holding the water flow of Glacial Lake Missoula. The name is Glacial Lake Missoula. The dam broke, and when the dam broke, it emptied the entire lake within how many hours? Within 48 hours, forming huge waterfall because it was a very huge lake of Missoula. It emptied in 48 hours and they formed waterfalls, deep canyons, and tall ripple marks in the land. Lake Missoula reformed and flooded about 40 more times. Even after that, that was not the time only during the ice age this happened. It also happened later. Hello, girls. You there listening?
Yes.
So this is not only once it happened in ice age. Lake Missoula, it flooded about 40 more times. Now here you have, how can gravity shape Earth? Miral, can you read this out? Hello, Miral. Zishan, are you there? It's better to be absent
Yes, ma'am.
if you're not replying.
Yes.
Please, can you read out this?
Yes, okay. How can gravity shape Earth? Gravity influences the movement of water and ice. Gravity also moves rocks and soil downslope. Mass movement is this shifting of materials due to gravity. Creep is the extremely slow movement of material downslope.
1 minute. Gravity influences the movement of water and ice. When you hear the word gravity, you'll remember that apple falling from the tree. Similarly, the ice will move downwards. Gravity also moves rocks and soil downslope. Whatever it's moving down, which has a mass. Creep is the extremely slow movement of the material downslope. If you know the slope is, if imagine the slope is not that steep, the slope is not that steep, and you see a slope this way. If you see a slope this way, and you see a slope, of course, here things will fall very quickly, but here it will extremely slow. So this is called a creep, and it is extremely slow. It is called creep. Rapid mass movement usually happen on steep slopes. Okay, if you find a big rock, girls, if you find a big rock, okay, what do you think? Will it fall quickly on a steep slope or will it fall quickly on a, it has to be on a steep slope only. The big rock will stay here forever if it is not steep. If it is steep this way, then only the rock we are expecting it to fall. So rock fall happens when loose rocks fall down a steep slope. A landslide is the sudden and rapid movement of large amount of material downslope. Girls, I remember when you travel to Taif or when you travel to Abha or some places this way, you have mountains and suddenly if the rocks come and smash the car, there are many accidents because of the landslide. Suddenly, from many years, maybe that rock is trying to come down and there is a moment that this rock is now ready to come down. It comes and falls on the car. There are, in many pictures, they show that the landslide is there now and people are running to for their, because you know that rocks, if they come, such big rocks, if they come and fall on you, you'll be smashed. And that too, landslide, it's sudden. Nobody can predict that much. How you predict the weather, how you predict the other things, but earthquakes. But this landslide is the sudden and rapid movement of large amount of material. In a very short time, a very large amount of things come there. Did you understand?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I am not sure why I cannot erase this. Wait a minute. A mud flow is a rapid movement of large mass of mud. With the name itself, you know that I'm talking about mud flowing down, that do not small amount, large mass of mud. Mud flows happen when large amount of water mixes with soil and rock. It happens during, you know, when it's very high rainfall, and during more rainfall, the soil, it mixes with water and the mud flows down. Deforestation, volcanic eruptions, and heavy rains all are disasters, girls. Cutting down trees, volcanoes, and heavy rains, they can create mud flow. So this was all about this lesson. Let us see here. See, can you imagine such big ice? They even transferred these big, large boulders that were deposited by glaciers. SubhanAllah. And in gravity, shape Earth, I explained you today about rockfall. I told you about landslide, and I told you about mud flow. So is all the vocabulary clear, girls, to you all? Wind forms dunes. This is deposition. You need to say whether it's deposition or wind form desert pavement through erosion, whether it is deposition or it is erosion. Type of slow mass movement. If it is slow mass movement, it is called as creep. I told you when it is slow mass movement, it is creep. Again, what are the three major types of mass movements? I told you mud flow, rockfall, and landslide. Very important. What are the three major type of rapid mass movement? Landslide, mud flow, and rockfall. I'm tired of talking without asking you questions because I don't get much of response. Anyways, let us see the video if you can.
Ice is an agent of erosion and deposition.
Can you hear the sound?
Have you ever gotten a jolt
Yes.
when riding in a car that drives over a pothole? Ice wedging can cause potholes. Ice wedging begins when water seeps into a rock or a road surface. When the water freezes, it expands, forcing open cracks in the rock or road surface and widening them. Repeated cycles of freezing and thawing can cause road materials to erode away, creating larger and larger holes. If this happens in a road surface, a pothole can form. Your car driving into the pothole makes the hole worse. Your car becomes an agent of erosion. Click the picture to discover more about how ice can cause potholes. A new road surface seems smooth, but it is porous and can absorb water. After water seeps in and freezes, it can cause cracks to form. Repeated cycles of freezing and thawing make the problem worse. Soon, chunks of asphalt loosen and erode away. Eventually, a pothole forms. Car wheels slip into the hole and drive out the other side.
So again,
This action
yes,
erodes the
going
walls.
how I explained in the last wedge, you remember I told you about ice wedges or ice, how it goes and it freezes and it expands and it contracts.
Yes.
Same way, it is same way.
Okay.
Gravity is another agent of erosion and
You
deposition.
have to know that what all is shaping the land because of gravity: rock fall, mud flow, landslide. Landslides are very dangerous. Creep.
Yeah.
These rocks were loosened by forces such as freezing and weathering. Gravity made the rocks fall down. This is called a rockfall. A rockfall may contain large boulders, gravel, and pieces of soil in addition to rocks. These rocks were loosened by forces such as freezing and weathering. Gravity made the rocks fall down. This is called a rockfall. Mud flows can happen after a heavy rain. The ground may not be able to hold any more water, so gravity pulls the water down a slope. The water collects soil, gravel, and other materials as it flows downward. A landslide brings soil, rocks, boulders, and other objects down a slope together. Landslides can be very small, or they can bring down the side of a mountain. The side of this mountain is moving downward very slowly. It may move less than an inch or 2.5 centimeters per year.
Imagine per
This is
year.
called creep.
Creep. Per year. It's moving so slowly. It's very slow.
Match the correct label to each photo.
Okay, girls. See where you can see ice wedging, where you can see a hole. The first or second? Ice wedging.
This is there's only
Second picture.
there's no
What?
you only see like the website and the lessons. You don't see the
From that
video.
time, there is no, you cannot see anything from that time?
No, only you can hear.
Allah. Anyways. Now, this is the ice wedging. This is the rock fall. Here is the mudslides. This one is sand dune, and this one is the landslide.
Good job. You certainly know your erosion types.
So to
Gravity is
this was
another agent of erosion
about
and
mud flow,
deposition.
landslide, creek,
Click each
rock.
picture.
See the pictures?
The sign.
They show this rock fall, they show this is mud flow, and they show this is landslide.
A landslide brings.
You were hearing it, but you couldn't see the picture, right?
Have you ever gotten a jolt?
That's it.
Gravity. Match the. The image shown here shows the effects of erosion on a rock face. You can see both erosion and deposition. Let's see if you can tell them apart. Click the parts of the image where erosion occurred.
See, this
Click
one,
OK when you're finished.
This one is erosion, or what do you think so? This is erosion or deposition? This picture. What do you think? In this, it came and deposited. The first one, it is erosion.
That's not it, but try again. Look for a scar and debris below.
Okay. Let's try again.
That's partly correct. The scar shows where rock was moved away. This is where erosion
Down
occurred.
is deposition.
The
first
debris
two are
below
erosion.
probably.
The first two were erosion. Where you see
Imagine you are on top of a mountain. Let's take a quick look at the main points you covered. You've learned a lot about how Earth's landforms change. You've examined how 3 agents of erosion work. And you've been able to figure out what happened in the past by looking at landforms today. Erosion can be caused by wind that shapes dunes and rocks high on mountains. Glaciers and other forms of ice can scrape and erode surfaces. Rockfalls and mudslides are examples of erosion caused by gravity. Now that you've finished this lesson, if you wish, you can go back and review any part of.
That's it for the lesson, girls. How many lessons did I send in the group for you all? Any idea?
You didn't